you were a member of the Pagans, the biker group?
I remember them? No. They were just some people I knew. I didn't really know a lot about them. George just needed some biker type guys, and just spread the word around, and that's who showed up.
Okay, so you were an actor?
Basically. You know, as it really went, I was just a guy who knew a guy. I used to do dance in the Hawaiian luau shows. I was a fire sword dancer, and one of the girls that danced in one of the shows, her husband was in the first Dawn of the Dead, and they kind of knew George, and the word was passed on. George needed some biker guys, so I found these guys and showed up in the beginning of the movie thing there, and he just said, "You're the leader of the bad gang," and let's start shooting. How simple that was.
So how many nights were you actually at the mall for the...
We were there for 5 days. 5 nights, actually.
So you were aware before that you were going to be the head biker?
No, not until the first day when first night we started shooting.
And was there a script, or did you just...
No script. The one scene that he said that I was doing any kind of talk, and he just said, say anything, you know. And at that time, I said, George, you know, my mother might see this. I didn't want to cuss, you know. It was kind of weird, you know. And so it just went that way.
What was your opinion of the film after you saw it?
I mean, it was a good movie, and that was firsthand. I could see, you know, how movies were made, and the stunts, and you know, the little bullet things that blow up. I forget what they call them when it blows up when someone gets shot or something. Squibs or something they're called, and those are interesting to see. And I had some guys last year stop in my house, and they were from Germany, and it's a pretty big hit over there. And they stopped in and with some autographs, took some pictures with me, and it was kind of weird, you know. I'm just a construction worker, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And that's what I do for a living. I climb on buildings and clean, rocketing, pointing, and that kind of stuff. I was not an actor.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was just a thing that came along, and I did it. But they said it's a pretty big thing over in Germany, and as a matter of fact, maybe about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they stopped in again. They were at a comic convention over in Monroeville, at a convention center. And they stopped here first and was BSing a little bit with me.
Have you ever considered attending one of the conventions?
Somebody called me about one maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago up in Cleveland, and I was going to go, and then I just figured the hell with it, I'm not going, you know, so I never went to one. I thought about it, but I haven't gone to one yet. I guess they periodically happen.
Yeah, they do the one in Monroeville every year, and that would probably be the easiest one for you to get to. I mean, their guests, I mean, they'll have anybody from Dawn of the Dead. I mean, they probably have had just about everybody by now.
Really? Not me. They haven't had me there yet. Yeah, I never even thought twice about it, you know. It was just something that came along, I did it, it was done. You know, I never thought anybody would want an autograph of me, because I'm nobody, you know. Just a player in some movie thing they were doing, that's all I did.
Uh-huh.
They were paying money, so I said, okay, I'll do it.
Do you have any odd stories or interesting stories from the set that you remember?
From the set, I just remember, I don't know, you printing all this. I just remember George came to me one time, since I knew all the guys, he said, Larry, because they always brought a case of beer and stuff like that, and while they weren't shooting, they were drinking at the end of the mall. So he says, Larry, can you get on, like, tell these guys to do this or that, you know, don't be doing that stuff. I said, George, I brought them, they're yours. I'm not telling them to do nothing, you know. So they're all yours, George, you know. Other than that, it was just interesting watching them do that kind of stuff.
I was listening
I was
to.
in another movie. He did another movie called Night Riders, which was based on a motorcycle jousting. I was in that a little bit, but not too much.
I was listening to the commentary on the most recent release of Dawn of the Dead, and Galen Ross actually makes a comment that she had a crush on you back then. Were you aware of that? And
who is that?
she's the female lead in the film.
Oh no, I never even knew anything about it.
Well, she mentions it a couple of times, and then the rest of the people in the commentary kind of start teasing her about it every time you pop up on the screen.
Oh really? I never even heard about that.
You have a response, or?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you answering a couple of questions, and.
Oh sure. If I can do anything else for you, just let me know.
Okay. I appreciate it, Larry.